It's almost over. This year's legislative session ends at midnight.
And really, it may not be remembered as one of the most important sessions, but a few priorities did make it through. Our chief political reporter, Susan Rath, is live for us right now at the state capitol with a lot more on what is happening there tonight. Susan?
Mark, legislative sessions are often remembered for bills that make it through and bills that didn't. And this year, there were quite a few bills that just didn't get through. Yes, this was a short session, but there are other reasons why bills didn't make it. In just a few more hours, this year's legislative session will be over.
We start on time, we get our business done, we take our votes, we take Republican ideas when they're good, and when we got to force things through, we do. We had bills they didn't vote for.
House Speaker Matt Ritter seems pleased with how things went this session. Democratic leaders managed to get a bill to expand paid sick time over the finish line. This means all companies will have to offer 40 hours, regardless of size. But a massive plan to address climate change has come to a halt. Republicans feel it was bad for consumers. There was somewhat of a windfall, close to $400 million in federal pandemic relief money that had to be spent. Higher education is getting a big chunk of it.
The more support we get from the state, the more we can keep tuition flat. And that's so critical for our students. They can't afford to go to the flagship. They can't afford to go to privates.
Nonprofits are also getting some of that money. And in these final days, there's a big squabble over the state budget. Adjustments needed to be made. However, Democratic leaders say we have a $1 billion surplus and we can make changes next year. Republicans say that's bad policy.
If revenues start declining, or if the spending cap starts being impacted by all these overruns, he is going to have to make those tough decisions.
The House Speaker will gavel out at midnight here in the House chamber, and right now it isn't clear if Governor Lamont will address the General Assembly, which is somewhat customary. As for Governor Lamont, he wanted very much to see the advancement of electric vehicles this session, some legislation that didn't happen, and we're expecting when lawmakers return in January, they'll tackle electric vehicles. We're live at the state capitol in Hartford. Susan Rath, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Susan.